she doesn't really have a job right now. But one of her other friends works at this other restaurant, and so he was like, hey, you know what, I know you don't have a job right now because like the restaurant, and I know you're kind of waiting till the restaurant opens back up, so I was wondering if you would maybe want to like work like if you could like take people's shifts kind of thing, you know, if people want a day off you can come in and work for them. And my mom said yes. So the days that she gets, it's kind of just like random days. It really just depends on like if like the workers want her to cover for them and things like that. And basically what my mom was telling me was that this like restaurant is kind of crazy, and like like my mom's like workplace, the one that she's been there forever, is already super mega toxic, y'all. Like super toxic. Like these people are just like insane, right? And so she was telling me that so you know when you go to tip, you can leave a tip on the card or you can give people cash, right? So she was telling her, like my mom was telling us, that when people would leave her tip like on their card, that the other waitresses would like find, like they would steal her tips. And I'm like, how is that even possible? And she's like, I don't even know, but they ended up stealing my tips. And she's like, you know, I know. I'm like, how do you know? And she was like, because she basically worked the entire day, and you know how much she made, y'all? $7. $7. And my mom is a good waitress, and she always makes a lot more, and it just logically doesn't make any sense because she had a bunch of tables that she was doing, and she's like, there's no way that I only had $7 on a card, like you know, when they tip her card. She's like, there's just no way, Jazz, like there's no way. So apparently people actually like they steal tips from people, and I'm like, holy shit, like that is kind of insane. She's like, yeah. And she's like, I can't even do anything because like it's just like the environment that's there. Like, who am I supposed to tell, you know? And I was like, yeah. Excuse me, I literally like had dinner like 20 minutes ago. So, but yeah, I'm like, mom, I'm like, that's kind of insane. Like, what, like they're just stealing from you? And she's like, yeah, they're just like literally stealing from me. And I was like, oh my god. And so then she was telling me that these people, these waiters and waitresses, they drink on the job. Yeah, I was like, what? And she was saying how like the restaurant that she works at like now, well, not even like, you know what I was saying, basically what they have a bar, and because like literally the owner allows the workers to drink. And listen, she was telling me that some of the girls that work there literally take shots at like 10 a.m. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is going on here? And I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, I really hope you're not partaking in this behavior, because it's like these people are alcoholics. Like, I'm not even getting the reason that my mom has so many like days where she can like work is because a bunch of people call in and say that they can't go to work because they're hungover from drinking on the job the day before. I was like, oh my god, that is insane to me. Like, that is so insane. Like, I'm not one to judge, y'all. Like, I swear I'm not one to judge, but these people are alcoholics. Like, they're alcoholics because what do you mean? Like, every day you go to work, you drink throughout the entire day. Like of course it's not bad to drink, but you're telling me that in order to get through your work day, you have to be taking shots and drinking beers the entire work shift. Like, call me crazy, y'all, but I feel like that's not okay. And it's just like, and I just feel like, I don't know, that's just like, I don't want to be in that kind of environment, you know? Like, I don't want to go to a restaurant where my waiter or my waitress is like shit-faced, you know? Like, call me crazy, y'all, I don't know, but I don't know. It just like everything about that like place, it was working out since forever. Apparently he's a whore. Yeah, and listen. And he's married. And his wife is basically like the manager of the restaurant. So like they work together every day, and basically yeah, I am so sorry. I can't stop burping, and I don't want you guys to listen to them. But basically, allegedly, apparently, according to my mother, one time he was hooking up with this like random girl, and apparently his wife like also knows that he's a whore, but like she just never did anything because she doesn't really have any proof, and also they're just never gonna get divorced. You know, they're like the kind of couple that they're like kind of tied for life in the sense like financially, like everything. Like they just can't really get divorced because it's just like so inconvenient for them. But basically, one time he hooked up with this girl, and my mom said, by the way, he tells this all to my mom. And I'm just like, oh my god, mom, how do you have this tea and you didn't tell me? Anyways, I'm getting to, this is supposed to be relaxing. But basically, she tells me that he told her that whenever he hooks up with girls like that, he doesn't fall asleep. He just like, you know, he does it and then he leaves. But this one time, he accidentally fell asleep for like 10 minutes. And the next thing you know, he wakes up and the girl is still there. And he goes through his phone, and the girl had sent his wife a picture of them together. I was like, oh my god, that is so vile. Like, oh my god. Not only did this woman know that he was married, but that she texted him she texted her the picture. Oh. And it wasn't even like a hey girly text, you know, like hey girl, like I'm looking out for you, you know, that kind of thing. No, it was the kind of text where the girl does it to like put it in her face, you know, like to say, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, hey girl, like your man is hooking up with other girls, you should know. It's like your man is hooking up with me, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my god, there's no way. And apparently, allegedly, according to my mother, the very next day he went to work and he hadn't seen his wife because apparently like she was out somewhere, and they both get to work and his wife starts attacking him and in front of the restaurant, just like in front of everybody. And I was like, oh, deserved. I mean, of course deserved, but oh my god, in front of everybody. Oh my god, no. I was like, oh my god. And apparently, allegedly, according to my mother, there's this girl at her job. I'm not gonna say her name, but she's pregnant, right? She's been pregnant for like what feels like years now, but it's only been like 8 months. But apparently he was hooking up with her too. And apparently, according to my mother, allegedly, my mom thinks that the baby is the guy, like her boss's baby. Yeah, I was like, Mom, is that a joke? And she's like, no, Jess. She's like, I'm being so serious because my mom is convinced that they were hooking up. Like everything was just like telling her that they were hooking up. And apparently he hooks up with like a bunch of the workers there and then fires them. Well, not like fires them, but like, how do I say that? Okay, so basically like, more like my mom told me that he hires girls not on their ability to work, but more like on how hot they are, right? And then basically like, I think he's only hooked up with like 2 of the workers there. Yeah, I think, you know, yeah, let me backtrack before I say something I'm not supposed to be saying. Well, actually, I'm already saying things I shouldn't be saying. But I'm just like, what? I'm like, Mom, how do you have all this tea and you've never told me this? Like, oh, what is going on here? Like, why don't you tell me these things? But yeah, y'all, basically, wouldn't it be really funny if my parents just walked in on me and mom, because he knows my mom isn't gonna say anything, because like my mom is the kind of like person that's like, it's not my business and it's not my like duty to tell people, you know what I mean? So she doesn't say anything. But apparently like a lot of young girls like him. And listen, I jokingly, I was like, oh, can I see a picture of him? And my mom's like, yeah, because I have actually never seen a picture of her boss. And so she like follows him on Facebook and everything like that. And she shows me a picture of him. And I make a joke like, oh, and like, I make a joke like, oh, and like, oh, he's gonna attract it. and then I'm like, and he makes a lot of money, right? And like my mom, basically the joke was kind of like, what if I just like, you know, anyway, my mom at first didn't really get the joke, right? But I look over and I'm sorry. I look over to my dad, and my dad is just looking at me like my dad is just looking at me like, what the fuck? I'm sorry, trying not to laugh, but I'm trying to control myself. My dad is just looking at me like, what the fuck? And then my mom finally gets the joke that I was joking like, oh my god, what if I get with him? You know, like he's kind of cute and he has money. And then my mom told me that apparently she was gonna tell his wife, and I was like, please don't tell his wife. I'm sorry, y'all, this was supposed to be relaxing, I swear. But y'all get my, he is kind of cute, but no, I would never do that. That's disgusting behavior. Listen, if you ever hook up with a married man or a married woman and you know that they're married when you hook up with them, you're just as bad as a person as they are. Call me crazy, y'all, call me crazy, y'all. But no, I was like, because the joke is like, I'm kind of like outing myself here, but like I have a lot of crushes, y'all, and my parents call me I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be quiet. My parents call me like whenever I see a man out in the street and I think he's cute, I usually tell my parents like, oh my god, that guy is kind of cute, like, oh my god, you know. And so because of that, there's this guy who works at Buffalo Wild Wings. I've been in love with him for over 2 years, y'all. 2 years. I want him so bad, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. He's just, I gotta stop. But I'm in love with him. I want him so bad. He's so cute. But basically the joke is that I'm a whore. And I know that might sound kind of crazy but that's just how I get along with my parents. So when I made that joke earlier, my dad was just like, he almost wasn't even surprised, but the face that he gave me was so, it was so funny. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but yeah, by the way, these are all just jokes, y'all. Don't take me seriously. Like, I'm not just having fun out here. Like, please. Also, please don't judge me. But yeah, it was something else. It was something else. Anyways, I think that's it for today. Yeah, I think I've yapped long enough. This was definitely so chaotic. I am so sorry. This was supposed to be relaxing, and I don't think it was. This was supposed to be a relaxing, juicy,